Hello, welcome to this module dedicated to the creation and sharing of activities of manipulation in STEM thanks to Innovation Hubs. This short format, called Manipulating STEM, focuses on the transformation of mathematics-related activities. It has been created in collaboration with the three French partners of the Geeks for Education project, the Middle School Collège Paul Verlaine in Lille, the higher education institution specialized in engineering called Centrale Lille, and the CNRS IEMN Research Laboratory. We chose to develop this format because it seems to meet the needs of the teachers as well as pupils. It is a method that can be adapted to different audiences and to different topics. In addition, one of the keys to successfully transfer the knowledge is to captivate and motivate the target audiences. Object manipulation is one answer to this issue. The global objective of the format is to help make STEM teaching more explicit, more effective, and more attractive. This method is for you, educators, teachers, trainers in charge of pupils from primary school to the beginning of secondary school. We would like to make our problem-solving activities more meaningful, reinforce the experimentation and manipulation phases, encourage interaction between pupils, and allow them to talk about their trials, their errors, their discoveries. Finally, the aim is also to gradually introduce abstraction. The methodology adopted and the advantages of this collaborative approach will be presented in the form of two examples of activities carried out previously. By using the skills of the Innovation Hubs, you can enrich the many varied and attractive activities that you may imagine or select from the institutional or specialized resources available to you. This format was developed in France, in the Lille region, and is based on the structures available in this environment. These structures may or may not be linked to an educational organization. For this format, the structures we are referring to are a math labs and a fab lab. Based on exchanges between involved organizations, our innovation clusters, math lab and fab lab, have built support for the creation of teaching activities using digital technologies to manufacture the needed material for manipulation. The expertise of the researchers who are used to the project approach ensured that we wouldn't get lost. When it comes to finding this type of structure, let me give you the example of France, where we have access, for example, to the French network of Fab Labs, which is a national association, and to the Academic Forum of Laboratories of Mathematics. Don't hesitate to ask around and find out about nearby STEM structures that might be able to help you. They could be academic institutions, associations, and of course, Fab Labs and Math Labs. There, you can build resources and partnerships that will benefit your teaching. And above all, you can benefit from tremendous quantities of resources and training in short, innovative, and interactive formats. The whole package was tested by primary and secondary school teachers and their pupils during the 2022-2023 school year. You will now discover several examples of how to apply this method.
Hey, I'm a primary school teacher in priority education, and my colleagues and I wanted to work on some shapes and their sizes, in particular on the distinction between length and areas. By exchanging with the Labomat of our network, we were offered to work on the Curvica activity. We thought together about how to use it and best adapt it to our audience. The 24 parts were modeled and many batches were 3D printed. The parts are intended to be manipulated to be compared by superposition. We thought it useful to associate these parts with two-tone paper models, this time allowing comparisons by foldings. To be met in groups was written and proposed to the students. This led to a dynamic phase of research and verbalization, during which the students were helped by the scientific animators of the Labomat. Final objective is to discover that figures of the same area can have different perimeters.
Alors, qu'est-ce que vous devez faire?
Trouver la plus petite pièce.
D'accord.
Ouais, ça pourrait être celle-là. Faut qu'on trouve.
Ah, c'est du plus petit au plus grand. Tu vois, Manel. Là, j'avais raison. Celle-là, elle est grande. Ouais, elle est grande, elle. Bah oui, plus petit que ça, encore une fois. Encore plus petit que ça. Non, c'est quoi déjà? Non, du coup, c'est là les bosses. Hein? Mais en revanche, ça dépend de ce qu'on regarde. Soit on regarde le périmètre, soit on regarde l'air. Le chemin droit est toujours le plus court. Donc pour celle-ci, qui est courbée, elle aura plus de chemin à parcourir. Celui-là, elle aura juste à aller tout droit.
J'ai un carré, je vais le transformer. La forme a la même aire, mais pas le même périmètre. J'ai remplacé les côtés droits par des côtés courbés. Ces deux formes ont le même périmètre, mais pas la même aire.
All these didactic materials were tested in our classes, and it was a real pleasure for our students to work in groups and to do mathematics differently. It is an advantage to be able to use the activities and equipment made available by Labomat.
With my colleagues, we were looking for middle school or high school students and also trainee teachers, an activity to introduce the scientific process that allows them to specify the stages. Our discussions at Labomat led us to test a tiling problem that mobilizes the 6 mathematical skills. The starting situation in the form of picture is quite familiar to our students, but to carry out this activity, we needed equipment that we could not manufacture ourselves. Our partnership with Central Lille has enabled us to obtain, thanks to their Fab Lab, a very attractive material for manipulation, regular polygons cut by laser engraving. Students only have the irresistible desire to manipulate, but some problems arise. The confrontation of their hypotheses then led them into a lively debate at the heart of the scientific approach: how to validate or refute the hypothesis. Once the modeling has been completed, the research work requires good collaboration within the team. To communicate their solutions, nothing more aesthetic than reusing the material and presenting them in visual form. This is when new questions arise.
My name is Delphine and I'm an art teacher. I continue the work done in mathematics on tiling with regular polygons and in a manner of issue. The objective was to create a staging of these pavements, but which punches back in rules and limits and become a space of creative freedom. This kind of works is directly in connection with the concept of in situ, staged by artists in some architectural and or vegetal spaces.
I'm a technology teacher and head of the Fab Lab in the Labomat. I took charge of the initiation to 3D printing for the colleague of the Cité Éducative. Seeing Delphine using math activity made us want to continue enriching our tiling activities. We modeled 5 new tiles decorated with interlacing that will serve as a support for activity combining craft, arts, and sciences. This printed material also makes it possible to work on construction algorithm, fraction of angle without forgetting the process of creation in plastic arts.